Hi, Keep It Crazy family. Today we are actually redoing a vlog we did about a year ago before our family was actually complete.
Not only that, but we have a lot more subscribers, and just in case you're wondering like what siblings came together, how they got adopted, their stories, so today we're going to explain it all.
Darling, smile today, let me see your lights. Brighten up the room like candle lights. Home is in your arms, home is in our hearts. Home is wherever you are with me. With you I'm home, crazy little. With you I'm home, crazy little. With you I'm home.
All right, we're gonna jump right into this, but first we need to do a little disclaimer.
That if you've seen the one that we did about a year ago, the stories are going to seem the same, and it's because they are. It's because it's their story. It's how they came into our family. We are going to try to add tonight to their story something that maybe you haven't heard before. So
Yeah. We need to talk a little bit about our relationship. So we've been married for 12 years, and in the beginning it was just Shelly and I and Kylie.
And so Kylie is my daughter from a previous marriage, and when we got married, she was 12 years
12,
old.
yeah, she was 12. And at the time, when we even first started dating, we knew we wanted to adopt.
Yes.
But we
First
had-
date, we talked about it.
We had no plans of having our own kids though. And I think it took
It was Crystal.
your mom and your sister.
Yeah, my mom and my sister, and they kind of just locked me in a room, and for a long time, I know, did like an intervention
I
trying to
didn't know
get
they
me
did
to,
that.
they did, trying to get me to have at least one more before we decided to adopt. And so we decided to go ahead and do that, and so we had
We have
Landon.
Landon. So here's our Landon.
And Landon is 11.
Yeah, 11 years old.
And one of the questions that he gets a lot is, what is it like to be the only biological kid living in a house full of adopted kids? And your answer?
I don't know.
He always says that. He doesn't know. And the reason why is because for him, he hasn't known anything different. When we started doing this, he was like 1.5, 2 maybe. He was really little when we got Cody, Lacey, and Lizzie. And so for him, he doesn't know anything different.
Yeah,
This
he
is-
really doesn't. That's
yeah.
been his whole life. So, but it was because of Landon and Kylie and the huge age
Like 12-year gap.
that and then we got Cody, Lizzie, and Lacey, and they were right in the middle, and that's where we got our name, Crazy Middles.
Yes.
So,
So.
but we love Landon so much.
And he's so great. He's,
Yeah.
Yeah, you really are great. I love you.
The first kids we were able to adopt from foster care were Cody, Elizabeth, and Lacey.
Yes.
So,
So
But here are the
Cody,
girls.
Cody has moved out, and we are so proud of him. He's doing so great. He's getting ready to start college. He has an awesome job. Like, we are really
he's
proud
doing
of
really
him.
good. He's doing
Yeah,
really, really
he's
good.
doing really good. So
But when they first came to our home, we were super excited. And how did you guys feel?
Well, we were scared. We were scared. I was in 2nd grade, and
Yeah.
Lizzie had just come back from a field trip, and CPS picked us up from school, took us to a CPS building, and then straight to their house. So it was definitely nerve-wracking. We had no idea what was going on.
And they had nothing.
We had
And they had
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, they
Well, they
literally
did
had
come with
nothing.
like a small bag of clothes, but nothing fit them. So.
Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
like not even close to fitting
Yeah.
them. So we went out and bought them a ton of
Yeah,
stuff.
so that first night we just shopped.
we did.
We were out until
shopped.
like 11 o'clock at night.
We
shopping.
were just
Yeah.
shopping and shopping, and we kind of did the classic mistake, I think, that first time foster parents do, where you just go out and spend.
Which is super risky because if they could leave hours or a day later.
We spent a lot of money.
Yeah, we did.
And it's good because you want them to have that clothing, but you can't afford to do that for every single placement that comes in. So, but it worked out, and they were able to stay, and we knew it too. I just knew.
We did.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
We had that feeling when they walked in the door.
There
It
was like
just
an
like-
automatic
Yeah.
connection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they called us mom and dad right from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was just a perfect fit.
It really, really was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been so great. We love you guys.
Yeah. So after we finished our adoption and it was finalized with Cody, Elizabeth, and Lacey, we decided, well, we thought we were done at first.
We did.
And then we kind of decided to take a different approach.
Yeah, we decided to try to take in foster kids that have been a sibling group that's been all separated, so all different group homes, and try to put them back together. So that's how we found Destiny, Cynthia, Jonathan, he has already moved out, and their brother Isaac. So unfortunately, Isaac's adoption, it just wasn't a good fit, but we got to keep all 3 of them, all the rest of them. Jonathan, we are so proud of. He's doing so great. He just graduated from phlebotomy school, which is like blood work, and he wants to continue and still do medical. So I don't know where he'll take that, but I'm sure he'll take it far because he's so
doing great.
smart.
He's always been the studious one.
Yeah, he's doing so great.
Yeah.
So when they first came into our home, Destiny was super quiet.
Like that's an understatement, though. We're talking crazy quiet. We didn't even know she could speak.
No,
Yeah.
I like nodded my head if I wanted something, or I shook no like this if I.
Yeah, it is so hard for some kids to come in and get used to new families and new home, and hers was definitely, it was a harder transition for her.
Yeah.
So Cynthia, here's something about Cynthia is she comes off very quiet, and when you watch her on camera, there's not a lot of talking, but really, she's not quiet. She's not quiet at all. So, but they both are just so fun. I love that their relationship is so good. These are the
Very
two
strong.
that you never see them fight. They get along all the time. They enjoy spending time. Why are you laughing? Do you feel like you fight? Do you fight in private?
Yes, they do.
You do?
It's not like a bad one. It's
She
just
won't
like
wear her clothes, that's it.
Oh, so they're fighting over clothes. Well, I didn't know. What I see looks great.
It's really quiet.
Really quiet. Okay.
Well,
Anyway.
anyway.
So we did think that we were all done when we adopted them. We really thought this is it, our perfect family, but there's more.
Okay, so this group, they're not technically blood brothers, but they were all adopted together. So
Yes.
first you have Spencer and his brother Weston. So they are obviously blood brothers, but first we're gonna start over here with Mason's story. So Mason, we actually picked him up from the airport, and he was supposed to be just like an overnight stay because he came in really late,
Yeah,
at
he
like
did.
10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, he was
So
tired.
they called us and said, can you just take him for a night? We just need him to stay somewhere, and then we'll pick him up in the morning and find another place for him to stay. He fit in so well, like immediately.
That we could not let him
And they're like,
go.
don't worry about finding another placement. We got him.
We got him. We're not gonna let him go. So
Yeah.
and it's been that way. We're never gonna let him
we're not gonna let him go. So.
He's so great.
Then there was Jacob. So Jacob, and this all happened around the same time frame.
Yes.
So Jacob actually had another adoptive home ready, and it fell through at the last minute.
Yeah.
So at that moment, Shelly and I were only looking for sibling groups, and that was it. So she had asked me, oh, there's this boy that they keep calling me about. I'm like, no, we're looking
I
for
couldn't stop
siblings.
thinking about him.
Yeah. And well, she kept bugging me over and over and over, and
I
she
think
finally.
we should take him. I just know it's a fit. I know, yes.
So she finally just used some strategy on me and said, let's just take him for the weekend.
Yes.
Just-
and the caseworker agreed to it.
Yeah.
And then once
So I'm
he
like,
met
all right.
Jacob,
It was like, now I can't let him go home.
Yeah, no, we moved him in so fast, like
Yes.
immediately. Yes.
Well, he and Landon hit it off so good. I mean, they're
Yes.
almost the same exact age and everything. And they
Yeah.
swam like all weekend, and they
had
were
so
playing
fun. I
games.
was like, this is perfect. And Mason,
Yeah.
same thing. They're just the 3 of them are like,
Oh yeah.
so close.
3 peas in a pod.
Yes.
So.
Yep. So
Yeah.
he was staying.
Yep. Now, Spencer and Weston's story was different for sure, because Cody kept telling us stories about one of his friends in class that was a foster kid, and we should look into like trying to find him and pull him into our home because he's a great guy and everything. And at the same time, we were getting a phone call from one of our
this caseworker that kept
caseworkers.
telling me about him and telling me about him and telling me about this 16-year-old boy and his brother, and I was like, we do not need another 16-year-old
Yeah.
in our house. We already had Cody, and to find out it was the exact same.
It was the same boys that our caseworker were talking about. So big surprise, one of Cody's best friends moved in with us with his younger brother, and they were just a perfect match.
Yeah, perfect match. So as you can see on Spencer's face,
he's having a hard time smiling.
He's having a hard time smiling. He recently knocked out 3 of his front teeth, and so he's in a lot of pain today. And
but he's okay.
He's okay. Yeah. He's doing really great. So anyway, but we're so glad that the adoptions worked out. We loved that even though they're not biological brothers, except for Spencer and Weston, that they were able to get adopted on the same day. Our lawyers got together and decided how they could make this happen, and they did it.
It was a really cool ceremony too.
Yeah, it
really
was so neat to have all of them together. So perfect. All right, let's see who's next.
Our next adoption was Annabea and Braxton.
Yeah. So Annabea, how old are you?
I'm 5 years old.
And
I'm 7 years old.
And he's 7. 5
when we got them, they were 2 and 4.
Yes.
They were so little.
Oh, you guys were so little. You're getting so big. So I told them, they were in the middle of playing, that they would just have to be here for a second. You guys can go play. So their adoption story is one of my favorites. It's definitely so sweet. Just to kind of shorten it up because it can be long, is we got her and she was in a shelter. She'd been there for about a year, which is crazy. Yeah, and when we got her, she had a really hard time adjusting. She wasn't talking. She was just really clingy and just cried. She didn't even want to eat. She just really had a hard time. And so I was looking through her paperwork and I saw that she had an older brother. We searched and searched for him, finally found him. He was in another foster home, and I spoke with the parents of the foster home, and they agreed that they should be together and let us take him. So we put them together. The first time they saw each other, they actually just tackled each other to the floor. It was so cute.
And then chased each other for like 2 hours.
And chased each other. And then we realized that she couldn't talk and he couldn't talk. And they could like speak their own language though. It was so neat. I wish I had it recorded.
Kind of like the stories you hear about twins where they just have
their own language. They definitely had their own language.
Like
it was so amazing. So both of their parents are special needs, so I'm sure that's why there wasn't a lot of talking or anything like that. So, but they're doing so great, and we are so blessed to have them as part of our family. Okay, so now we have
Addison,
Aubrey, Harlan.
So they actually came to us as a group of 4. And how we got them is their caseworker called and said, we know that you have a full house, but is there any way that you can take 4 more? It's the only chance we have to keep them together.
But we already had 5 foster kids.
Yes, so
we were
our
at the
license
limit.
was full. But they still let us take them. We were really shocked. And another thing that really shocked us is for a while we thought that Addison was older than Aubrey because she's so much taller. That shocked us to find out that nope, Aubrey is actually the older one, a little bossier too. And unfortunately though, one of the adoption placements didn't work out. We really wanted it to, but it didn't. We're so excited though that the 3 got to stay, and they just have the best personalities. They're so fun. They keep us on our toes for sure. Yes, it's fun to watch their relationship because they're typical siblings where they're either best friends or not best friends. So
at this point though, we thought this was our last adoption. This was it. When their adoption came around, they were our last foster kids.
But nope, there's more.
There was more. Our last couple of adoption placements were very, very unexpected. We were done with all of our adoptions.
So we thought.
And we were actually advocating for Kason and his brother, his older brother, Matthew, just to get them in the same home.
Yeah.
We knew not necessarily
we
ours.
couldn't take them because we were moving.
Yes.
And so the caseworker actually called us and said, the only way that we're gonna get this done is if you guys take them both. And we were like, well, we're moving, so how does that work? And she said, we'll work it out, that she knew that they were meant to be in our family. So we're so excited to get them both. Unfortunately, Matthew's adoption just didn't work out. It wasn't that we did anything wrong or he did anything wrong. It just wasn't a really good fit. And so Kason did get to stay with us. And he is just...
he is awesome.
He's just awesome. He has the best personality. Yes. He's so fun, always happy. It's just been so great, and we're so blessed to have him.
our last adoption, just like Kaysen, was extremely unexpected.
Yes, for sure.
Shelly got a phone call, and we were just about to move, and they said, "Did you have a previous foster child named Hunter?" Which we did.
Which we did.
And we got him out of the hospital.
Yeah, got him out of the hospital. We had him for about a year, and he was just starting to walk, and then his mom was doing so great that he went home.
Yes.
So
several months later is when we got this phone call, and she said, well, they're back in care, and their mother has requested that both he and his sister come to your home.
And we had never met Brinley before, so
No.
we were so excited, but at the same time we were so sad because we didn't think we were going to get to keep him because we were moving.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting and we met with their mom, their biological mom, and the caseworkers, and we explained to them that we're moving, and their mom said that she didn't care, that she really knew that we would love them and take good care of them, and she wanted us to have them. So,
which made us super happy.
Super happy. We were so excited. It's so hard to be able to lose a kid in foster care and never know if you're ever going to see them again. And that's
or
how
hear
our
anything
whole,
about them or
yeah,
anything.
you just never know. And our whole family was so devastated when he left. And so to get him back, it was just, we felt a miracle. So.
And we love them so much, and
Yes.
they bring us so much joy,
Yes.
especially when we tickle them.
Yeah, they have the best laughs. Thanks so much for watching today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Also, my sister, Crazy Pieces channel, they did one just like this, so don't forget to check theirs out. I will put a link at the end. But this is how we got our amazing family. Thanks for watching. Bye!